Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is T. Wilder with a Pauper Cube draft. We are currently doing a team draft where it is me, Talons, and Nicklon7 going to be playing Henry Clay, Stefano, and Jay Sherman. For those of you that are unfamiliar, the Pauper Cube has a Discord, and they have a monthly draft. This month there was 2 drafts that were fired, and this is the team draft. Looking at my pack, a few cards that stand out: Denrova, Horror, and Blightning as good gold cards, and Gift of Orzhova. Um, a couple decent cards: Militia Bugler, Witty Roastmaster. A lot of these cards uh, are pretty similar in power level. The card that I am looking to pick here is probably Flame Slash. The reason being, it's the best monocolored card. It's 1 mana, 4 damage. I'm probably going to play it in any red deck. So that was my pick and reasoning for that one. Pick 2, few options here. A couple strong cards: Pestilence, Go for the Throat, and more so Black. I feel like those are probably the 2 best cards. Armadillo Cloak is probably the best gold card in this. Imperial is good. Behold the Multiverse. But Gutter Snipe has my eye, being a spells themed card. It keeps me on track with red, so I'm not branching off to a different color. And it has a lot of synergies with the Flame Slash. So with Gutter Snipe, the decks that I'm looking are more like a red blue deck, even a red black. I mean, it could be in any deck, but you just want to make sure you have enough spells that you're going to be at least able to try to trigger it once, twice, hopefully even 3 times. So um, with this next pack was probably my most difficult. There is Guardian of the Guild pack, which I think is one of the strongest cards in the cube in the history of it, but I feel like it's gotten a little less value just because there's been more MH3 Eldrazi that have entered the cube, which can obviously block and stop Guardian of the Guild pack. So it's not as big of a threat as it used to be. Conduit Goblin's a really nice payoff in more of a Boros color, but that would force me to go in red white. And Conduit Goblin is more of a creature based aggro card, while Gutter Snipe is more of a spells type thing. There's a Jewel Thief. Thriving Gobs does have some synergy with some of the energy cards, but I ended up going with Lightning Strike with this. Still follows along with Gutter Snipe, still spell based, and same thing, just a really good red card. This pack 3, there is a Journey into Nowhere, Planar Disruption, which are and Gideon's Lawkeeper, which are all good in white. But I passed a couple red white cards, and I passed a couple just good white cards in general. So for me to go back into Boros would be a little awkward. Blue is probably the most powerful cards in this one, being Exclude, Condescend, Lose Focus, as probably being the best counter spells. I feel Exclude is the best one of them all in terms of just being a straight typical 2-for-1. Mechanoza is a new one from Edge of Eternities that I've not used to playing with, but it's more of a tempo style deck. But I have my eyes on Exclude, still following the spells themed, and just a good counter spell. This next pack, not much in red. There is a Goblin Surprise that could be more of a spells themed. If we had some go wide strategies, it could be okay. Otherwise, it has two of the classic blue 3 mana cards where it's a 2/1 flyer and usually pumps out a 1/1 token. But the Eldrazi Scott a spawner, their token is can be used for mana versus the Preening Champion. It's just a standard 1/1, but you're losing one toughness for a better token. In this case, I would end up taking the token overall. So that's why I value Sky Spawner just a little bit higher than Preening Champion. This next pack, not much in red, not much in blue, a lot of some green cards getting passed around. My eyes are on the Tempest Angler or Mystic Sanctuary. Mystic Sanctuary obviously got to go deeper into blue and have 3 islands. Um, the Tempest Angler more a payoff for having a lot of spells, which we do as of right now. Sanctuary isn't technically card advantage; it's just more getting your best spell on top, back on top of your deck. So, if you can find a really good draw spell or just need a removal spell, you can get that back the next turn. And it can be found with Lorien Revealed. But decided to go with the Tempest Angler. Wanted to try to get a little bit more of a threat. This is our first pick passed back to us. Blightning, which I felt was one of the top cards in the pack, is still there. But that forced me to go back into more red black and try to either go 3 colors or fixing. While Quick Study is just a solid cantrip. We have Exclude and Lightning Strike, which are already nice instants. So if we're not playing, if they're playing around a counter spell, we can at least draw 2 cards instead. So it's useful with that. So I decided to go with the Quick Study and stick with red blue before switching lanes. Not too much in this pack. Armadillo Cloak, Pest, one of the better gold cards. Everything else is um, pretty just standard cards. I mean, these are some of the main cards that get passed around quite a bit. I decided to go with the University Campus in case we wanted to go into Jeskai or um, any fixing. Teetering Peaks, just a decent utility land for more of a red aggro deck. I'm not sure how much creature based we're going to be with our deck. Well, ours is more uh, spell based. So decided to just go Furnace Strider, just a top end hasty creature, just a fine playable card. Um, they're not expecting it. Could obviously get in for some aggro. Um, Condescend was passed to us, so the Lose Focus was taken by somebody, and I'm not sure if there's one other blue card in this pack, but happy to have Condescend. It is better for a green blue style deck, but because it's more of a ramp style deck, so you can typically counter anything with it. But if you're able to force spike something with Condescend, just as good, and that Scry 2 ability is really key. This pack, not much. Just decided to go with the Riverwinder. Not too big of a fan. I think Resentful Revelation is the best card in this pack, other than maybe Jade Guardian. But just decided to choose Riverwinder, just to kind of cut off blue more. A couple green cards, black aggro, same thing here. Just decided to go with the land to try to help us in case we wanted to go into more of a teamer fixing. And a couple more green cards. And you have my elder. So green obviously looks open. Not sure if we missed maybe the signal and could have maybe went more of a red green. But opening up my pack 2, pick 1. There's probably about, let's see, 6 cards in here that I absolutely would love to have for my deck. So we're definitely going to be able to wheel maybe 2 or wheel at least 1 or 2 more cards. I decided to go with Mole Drifter. Mole Drifter, I feel, is the best card of this one. Obviously, we're not going to be able. We, as of right now, don't have anything to flicker it or bounce it back. But just a 5 mana draw 2 flyer. Usually, Pauper Cube is about card advantage. All of these other cards are one for ones. Just on Thief obviously can draw a card, but uh, Mole Drifter comes with the two cards up front. So I feel like that'd be a card that would not get passed to me back, while I have a chance of wheeling any some of the other red and blue cards. Um, this next pack here, um, there is Capsize. Capsize is one of the better control payoffs. I'm not sure if we're fully a control deck. Um, I could see us having difficulty um, casting 6 mana for any of those. Um, there's Mistral Singer, which is just all right. 2/2 prowess that fits the theme of her deck, but I think it's just an average card. Um, in terms of the red blue payoff, Ren's Resolve, just a solid card draw spell. Um, it is a little awkward with having counter spells, as it would be. Looking back at this draft, I ended up going with Ren's Resolve, but I did not end up playing it. Um, but um, decided to pick it here. But looking back, the reason why I didn't play it is we had a lot of counter spells in our deck, and it would be awkward to uh, get runs resolved, but have a counter spell that's face up that you can't play. Um, this next pack there is Brimstone Volley, but which is a burn spell, but does 5 damage to, but needs a creature to die that turn, which is tough to trigger unless you're more red black. Burning Tree Emissary, good for more of a Gruul style deck and or just mono red color deck. To be able to play another 2 drop or play Rally is the main combo with it. Um, so the strongest card I felt in this pack that we could possibly play was actually Settle Beyond Reality. We have a university campus. We have Mold Drifter that could be flickered. So I was looking for a possible white blue or uh, Jessica Splash. And this next pack, we open up an absolute bomb and Murmuring Mystic. The card I would absolutely dream if you could start a red blue deck. This would absolutely be the main card you'd be looking for as a payoff. So, absolutely slamming Murmuring Mystic. For those of you who haven't played it, it's absolute build around. You need a lot of non creature spells or instant sorceries. But if you do, it just absolutely takes over games. Um, Scholar Combustion, kind of a Pauper Cube Snapcaster effect. Um, you got to think of that card as almost a 5 mana or even a 6 mana card to play either Lightning Strike or Flame Slash or 1 mana cantrip. But decide to go with Tolarian Terror, just another one of their red blue payoffs. It's a classic constructed card. It's a little bit worse in Cube just because you can't fill the graveyard quite as fast to kind of turbo one out. But 5/5 hexproof is great. Absolutely slamming the Galvanic Discharge here. Uh, just premium removal. And lightning bolts obviously the main card, but galvanic discharge, 3 damage, instant speed, and can get you more energy for a couple of the things. So this is our pack one on the wheel. There are 3 cards that we are interested in. Decided to go with the Jesson Thief. Um, if it's able to connect and draw a card, you're feeling obviously very good about uh, winning the game. Um, now just picking any cards that are somewhat playable. Volatile Wanderglyph, just an average 2 drop. Rummages can fix your hand a little bit. If there was more synergies where you could tap it with like vehicles and stuff, it would get a lot more value. But uh, in this cube currently, it's just a very okay 2 drop. Just decided to go Barb Batterfist. Um, it does activate prowess, um, but not an instant or sorcery. Just a average, unless you're able to pick it up with Core Skyfisher or something along those lines, and abuse its token making. It's just an okay card. Witness Protection. This next pack, just okay enchant ability. These ones I'm not too very high on. Speak of course, Kai Fisher. In this pack, this and Nyxborn Hydra are a lot of really good strong cards in here. I'm not sure how these are getting passed, but in terms of in this color, so green was definitely open in this draft. But Core Sky Fisher, in case I went to Jessica colors, is a charm fitting her colors, and Silver Drake as our last pick. So we do have a little bit of a Jessica deck, but we don't have too much fixing. We don't have any red-blue fixing or white-blue. And speaking of fixing, our pack 3, there are 2 cards that I'm very interested in terms of Evoked Canyon and Bountiful Landscape as being 2 red-blue cards that I could get for fixing. Cloudskin Seer, Mirror Shell Crab, and Consider and Hordling Outburst are all okay cards. I mean, Cloudskin Seer is probably the best out of them, but we are already loaded at 3 drops currently. So I'm not sure if I was going to be fighting with anyone for in terms of red blue, but I just wanted to prioritize fixing. Usually with Pauper Cube, and the biggest mistake people have is you're going to have way too many playables by the end, and they don't prioritize fixing when they need to. So it may seem weird taking Eroded Canyon, even though it's just an okay land. It is. I like being able to play my spells and be able to uh, cast double pip cards on curve better if I can. Uh, Thriving Skyclaw here. I think it's just an okay card. Obviously, it's got the energy theme, but 3 energy is a lot for it. I mean, you could technically Galvanic Discharge for 0 just to get it an extra counter, but a 4/3 flyer dies to a lot of burn spells. I think it's just an okay card. Mocking Sprite follows the blue red theme, but I think it's the worst. I don't prioritize that effect too often. It's just pretty weak. It dies very easily, gets blocked by birds, and I only have like a couple spells that would discount it. So I ended up going with Fairy Seer. I like the cheaper card. I like fixing my hand a little bit better and getting a little bit more consistent. Here we get Mana Leak or Miscalc. Mana Leak is probably one of the best 2 mana counter spells. Usually you're going to hit something with the 3. Miscalc does have the cycling, so if it gets too late in the game, you can draw something else. In this next pack here, Hard Evidence is the best card that I'm absolutely looking for. Just does everything for this red blue. Puts down an early blocker, gets a clue to draw, triggers Marine Mystic, triggers Gutter Snipe. So another white blue land that we're passing up. So and there was a red white land in the last one, but Lorien Revealed is just premium card. If you just get it late game, it's just a 5 mana or 5 mana draw 3, which is absolutely huge card advantage. Ardent Elementalist here for more of Archaeomancer type effect. So There's Flame Slash, get back Galvanic Discharge, get back a counter spell, all good. Um, and we do have the other land that I wanted in this pack with Bountiful Landscape. So, um, gonna take that and keep our fixing up. Nothing else in this pack that we typically wanted here. I think there's Prismatic Strands, which might be the best card. Uh, Otherwise, I think we just ended up going with Mocking Sprite. Hobble Fiend is more of a red black card, and we won't be trying to sacrifice too much. But otherwise, a solid card with a Treetop Spinner here. And we get past Miscalc. We could have went Azorius Chancery if we really wanted to try to force the Jeskai, which might not have been a bad pick. It's also one of the most premium lands, the bounce lands, because they are card advantage. But I think I wanted to just stick with a good red blue deck here. And Miscalc is just, I think, too good to then try to force a third color, which the course Sky Fisher and the other one is good at bouncing, but we don't really have a ton of cards to bounce. End up going with the Goblin Electromancer, just a 2-drop, helps reduce cost spell, just an okay 2/2. Soul Manipulation, great card, but not in our colors. We'll take another Serum Visionary, just a very solid card. Draw a card, fix your next 2 spells. And end up going with Cruel Witness. There was that red white land. If I wanted to go really force the same thing, but at this point, I'm still stuck with red blue. I'm going with. Happy to get Consider. Just a 1-mana cantrip. Same thing. That's what you're looking for with Gutter Snipe and Murmuring Mystic. So overall, pretty happy with the draft. I feel like we're fighting some people with cards. We saw like Incinerate and some other red blue cards that lose focus. Lost Soul, I believe, is another counter spell. So there was some other red drafters and blue drafters. So um, our lane wasn't open, but I feel like we got enough playables and we got some of the better cards in uh, this color pie. So overall, happy with what we got. But what I'm going to do now is um, start fixing up the deck and then bring you a little, and then get on to the next game. The games are played weekly apart, and we contact the person and coordinate a time. And the 3 games are done over the course of the month. Welcome back. This is the quick deck tech for my Izzet list. Just wanted a quick look at the mana base first. We have 15 lands, counting a 16th with Lorien revealed. We have Spot Removal and Flame Slash, Galvanic Discharge as a Charm and Lightning Strike. And then we have Instance, Counter Magic with Condescend, Exclude, Mana Leak, Miscalc, and then is a charm for non-creature spells. Card draw, we have Quick Study, Consider, Hard Evidence, Lorien Revealed, and technically just is a charm. Creature-wise, I feel we have about 3 tiers here. My tier A cards and my best creatures that are in my deck, hands down, Murmuring Mystic and Gutter Snipe. And then my second tier cards, I would say, are at least in this deck, are Ardent Elementalist, Jason Thief, Talarian Terror, Mole Drifter, Serum Visionary, and Eldrazi Sky Spawner. Mole Drifter most of the time can be an A level card. But in this deck specifically, we didn't have any way to abuse it. So it was either divination for 3 with the evoke, or it was just uh, a 5 mana draw 2 cards, 2/2 flyer, which is still awesome. But we don't have a way to really abuse the card draw effect. Um, and then my third tier was Mistral Singer, Cruel Witness, Goblin Electromancer, um, and Fairy Seer. Um, there isn't too many cards in sideboard that I want to talk about, but real quick, I'll talk about Ren's Resolve. For some people, I feel like this is a easy one for people to go to kind of auto include maybe in the red blue spell slater deck, but it really depends on um, how you make the deck. The reason why I did not include it is we have miscalc, condescend, exclude, and mana leak, and um, those cards specifically. If you hit it with a Ren's Resolve, um, it really ruins um, the spell in general, just because it's face up as a counter spell, and you really can't use it. And it's just a waste then. So I feel like the Ren's Resolve is better for more of a red aggro deck, and with primarily just creatures and burn spells, where any card that you hit off of um, the spell, you'll be able to play at least. So that was the quick deck tech, and let's get on to the matches. Alrighty, I have a game against Stefano here. Going to try to be quick with this in terms of everything we're doing. Versing mono red aggro, or sorry, red aggro as of right now. Play a tap land. He shows me Shattered Landscape, fetches, gets a plains, I believe. Yep. And we're versing Boros aggro. As of right now, that's what I'm suspecting. Turn 2, just going to keep up miscalc. I have quick study, exclude for turn 3 plays, and cruel witness for turn 4. Cruel witness not the best option in this type of deck, just because if it gets bolted, for spending 4 to get something bolted. Uh, didn't play anything turn 3, so he's either playing around more than likely a counter spell, he has burn or removal in his hand, or he's just getting flooded, or he's got a lot of top end cards. But usually aggro is going to have a lot of cheaper cards. So passed again. What I ended up doing was quick study. If he wanted to burn me at the when playing quick study, I was okay with that. I'm gonna take advantage and try to draw a couple more cards. Okay. Draw Goblin Electromancer and Izzet Charm. End up playing the Goblin Electromancer. Um, Still has Miscalc up. Still have Exclude up. He ends up playing um, a Soteri Trooper. I ended up letting it go to see if he'd play anything else. Ends up playing Raid Bombardment, so ended up countering that with Izzet Charm. Izzet Charm's a little bit more narrow in terms of what it can counter in terms of non-creature spells, but I felt Miscalc was a little bit better, um, a little bit better option. So just some talking in terms of trying to. I think he forgot to pay for the 2 for the bombardment. Then he mentioned not attacking, but he already paid the 1 for not to block, and it wouldn't make sense for him not to attack. So I think I still kept the 16 from 17 to 16. Um, so just a little uh, miscommunication with this. Um, So this turn, I could keep up excluded miscalc, which was probably the smarter option in terms of that. I just ended up playing Mold Drifter, just ended up slamming it, draw 2 cards, just because I wasn't sure what he had going on, if he had more, like I said, removal or was flooding out. Ended up playing Witty Roastmaster and ended up playing Militia Bugler, which in hindsight, uh, keeping up exclude a miscalc probably would have been better. Uh, so probably a misplay on my end in terms of price, pretty sloppy. Probably should have just kept up both counter spells um, and went from there. So took one from the Witty Roastmaster, um, with Militia Bugler finds a Monastery Swift Spear. Um, then ends up attacking. Go down to 13. I had to look at this card. Um, I'm not used to some of the older cards and forget. I had to look up what it did, so that was me just trying to figure out like why it was a 2/2. But um, just so many cards I haven't played one more. So go down to 13. Um, from here, draw land. Here I'm just slamming Murmuring Mystic. I have a miscalc. I have exclude up. Hopefully, Mystic can just take over the game here. So plays a tap land. I know he has Swift Spear, so I'm just excluded just because he only has 1 or 2 more targets. Just gonna take advantage, counter something, and be able to draw something. So make a bird token. Has Cartouche Solidarity as the last card. Makes a warrior token. I go down to 12. He swings Frenzy Goblin. For some reason, I thought Frenzy Goblin made that one creature could be unblockable, and I thought it was the Militia Bugler. So I took 2 from the Frenzy Goblin, and I took 3 on accident from the Militia Bugler. Then I had to reread the card. Uh, Reading the card explains the card, so I had to look it up. So he just wanted the Murmuring Mystic not to block. So um, I try to block Bull Drifter and Goblin Electromancer, block the Militia Bugler, and have the bird token block Frenzy Goblin um, with that. So I think that was a pretty easy double block. I'm okay trading Mold Drifter or Goblin Electromancer. I just want to keep my life total as high as possible. So because I blocked, that's why I added the 3 life here. I mistakenly took myself down from there. So because I was at 12, took 2 from the trooper, and then I took 3 on accident, and then I added 3 back. So ended up wanting Electromancer, which I mean has the more static effect, but Molt Drifter's more of a threat in the air. Obviously, you can't see what my hand is, but um, I think the Molt Drifter, in terms of it, me personally, I wanted the Molt Drifter more, just because for me to win, it's going to be swinging over the top. Here, I was just double checking, making sure my math was right. So from here, um, I believe I just slam Lorien revealed. I think I was just rechecking life total here. Just slam, sorry. Slam Lorien revealed. Play Consider. And then play Hard Evidence. So this is the power of Mermaid Mystic. If you are able to chain a couple spells off, um, you just get so much extra value. So make it to. I even think I forgot to make the clue token here. So, um, yep. So my hand was pretty stacked. 0 cards versus 7 cards. My hand was pretty stacked, so I don't think I was going to be spending the time making the clue token. So um, some of these games I just want to go longer. Go down to 7. Um, play my land. Play Serum Visionary. Here, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a, uh, trying to find a removal spell for the trooper. So I cycle miscalc. I probably honestly could have kept it up and cycled on my turn and just kept up 5 mana like that. But uh, just wanted to cycle it early because I was thinking about playing around more of a protection spell. Um, Waited to see what he did in terms of uh, keeping it on top. He ended up scrying at the turn and decided to keep it up keep his card on top. So deciding to swing in with my birds here and start applying the pressure to try to get him down. That's the power of Marine Mystic is you're able to stop the board, but also get aggressive and finish the game. So it does both things. Plays Hordling Outburst, Galvanic Discharge the Witty Roastmaster before I take an extra 3 from it. He has 3 Goblin tokens, make an energy, and I know what my next card is. He doesn't have any good attacks other than the trooper. So take 2 down to 5. So here what I'm worried about is more this is the first game. I'm not sure if he has Fire Blast or that's the main card I'm trying to avoid. So what I did here is play Gutter Snipe, have 4 mana for Ardent Elementalist, get back Galvanic Discharge, do 2 damage to the trooper to try to prevent a thing, make another bird token, swing out with the birds, and other than this, I don't think there's a card that he could play that could get me to 5 other than the Brimshot Valley, I believe, is the only card that could beat me in this situation by attacking with everything and then doing it. So I sent a picture to my teammates of what cards he has, and we go on to game 2. So here we're in the sideboard. Not sure I want to change. The only thing I wanted to do here was um, I took out a Mistral Singer, added in Volatile Wanderglyph just as a 2-drop, something to try to block and to um, try to slow him down. Mr. Olsteiner is not much of a good blocker, other than once you have to 3 mana 2/2, but have to keep up instant spell to make it a better blocker. Uh, with this easy mulligan, no land hand. So we get going to the next part here. We shuffle it back. Mulligan. Draw a fresh new 7. Okay hand. It's got a 2-drop, 3-drop. It's got Mold Drifter, 4 lands. So ended up putting back a mountain and keeping it. What I would prefer is more interaction with either my Miscalc, Mana Leak, Izzet Charm, Flame Slash, Galvanic Discharge. Those are the cards that I want to more so see in my start 7. So, Deathblade Elite plays it. It's got Provoke. For people who don't know, at least Provoke. If you give it an aura, it can make a creature essentially block it. So I bluffed a Galvanic Discharge or Instant Speed Lightning Bolt and Secret of the Way he plays. So play Goblin Electromancer. You draw Quick Study and Lorien Revealed as her thing. He journeyed to Nowheres. I accidentally put in the graveyard rather than exiling and attaching it. Okay. Swings for 4 there. Placing Visionary, draw a card, scry 2. I think I ended up keeping the land up. My plan was to play Wanderglyph and keep up Mana Leak. Izzet Charm, I wasn't sure how good it would be in terms of that, in terms of killing the Seeker of the Way. Because if he keeps up mana where he can prowess it, then won't be able to. So with this, I blocked the 1/1 here. Deathblade Elite. He plays Gnawing Crescendo, which is a rough spell here in terms of gonna take 5. He's gonna take 5 to gain. Gonna trade and gonna take 8 overall. Yep, 3. And they trade. He makes a rat token. So my hope is he plays something that I can mana leak. Next turn, I can Lauren reveal, get a land, play the land, play. Yep, so mana leak the rally. He has a 3/3. I'm just going to take 3. So getting down to low levels, but getting close to possibly stabilizing. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Yep, cycle land, play the land. Is it charm now? It should be a 2/2. And hopefully it doesn't have too much more. But he's got his 4th land there. Witty Roast Master. Nothing to play. Just decide to Mole Drifter. Just to add to the board, draw 2 cards. I could have quick studied to see what I had, but I took 1 from Rashaka. He attacks, swings out. And block there. And he's got the pump spell, so. Yep, there's nothing that I can really do here. I'm going to take 2 damage, and anything that hits the board with Rudy Roastmaster or Scroach Rosaka, or however you pronounce that, Rusalka, I'm going to lose. So I think I just take a draw and end up conceding. So go on to game 3. So here, um, I didn't end up sideboarding anything. Um, in this hand, we have an interesting 7 hand. We have a Murmuring Mystic, we have Exclude, we have Mold Drifter, and we have 4 islands. So with this, the problem I have with it is if it might be a little slow. If he plays, let's say turn 1, I play something, he plays a 1 drop, then he plays a 2 drop, and then turn 3 he plays, I don't know, enchantment, something else. Hand might just be a little slow. Any red card we would have drawn there uh, might not have been useful because we still also need the mountain for it. So we might have had a bunch of dead draws. So just a slow hand. Didn't like it. This 6, not much better. Could risk it with the 1 lander, but what do I take? Do I take a mountain or do I take an island? Either one, I'm kind of in trouble there because if you don't draw the other one, I'm going to lose pretty quickly. So end up going to dropping down to 5, and we have a pretty good 5. We have 2 cards that I really want: Galvanic Discharge and Hard Evidence. We have the Bountiful Landscape to find a mountain, and we have an island. So Cruel Witness is for sure out of there. Then it's between Lorien Revealed and Galvan Electromancer. Electromancer doesn't hit too many of my spells. I'd rather have my 3rd land rather than having just a real weak 2 drop. So my plan is crack Bountiful Landscape, get a mountain, uh, have Galvanic Discharge in case they play a 2 drop, and play Hard Evidence, make my clue token. Oop, wrong card. Make my crab, make my blocker, and end turn. So here I believe he plays just Seeker of the Way, which he does. So just going to quick discharge it, get it off the board, not have to worry about protection spells or it getting pumped up. 3, hit another land. So just going to hold up Fake Counter Magic. He plays Conduit Goblin. Let him have it. And doesn't play anything else. I'm just going to crack the clue token. And draw Mana Leak and an island. So my hope here is he plays either 3 or 4 drop and just taps out, or sorry, taps out, and I'm able to counter it, and then next turn just slam Lorien Revealed and draw 3 cards. So that was my hope. He ends up playing Mysterious Creature, which in Pauper Cube it's more than likely going to be Dogwalker. So I Mana Leak that. And passes. Same thing. I'm just going to slam Lorien Revealed and draw 3 cards. And that's the power of Lorien Reveal. So right now I'm checking my graveyard. I believe I had 4 cards, 4 spells. So right now Tolarian Terror I believe is 3. Consider is pretty much a free spell if I am able to bin. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spells. Plays Goblin Surprise, makes a couple tokens. Starts combat. I block one of the goblins. If he wants to pump or do something with the thing, I'm okay with that. So first, I play Gutter Snipe. I play Consider. And if I bin a card here, or sorry, that would be number 5 spell, and have enough to play Tolarian Terror. So able to do 2 damage, draw a card, and play um, a 5/5 ward, which for him, the only thing he has, I believe, is Journey to Nowhere, in which he'd have to play 4 mana to get it out. Okay. He does Tyrion Peaks. So essentially, he's souping up one big blocker. Makes the warrior token. He's down to 2 cards in hand. And we're just going to block crab token. And I'm going to block one of the goblin tokens. So showing something, if he's got a big pump spell, my card's not going to die. He sacrifices, takes 1. I take 1 damage. And skewer the critics for my gutter snipe. Okay, down to 1 card in hand. Serum Visionary to draw a card. And scry 2. This is what I mean with Tempest Angler. Probably the worst card you want to see. And same thing with Volatile Wanderglyph. Even though they're both spells, I think I bottomed them both to try to hit something else. So I could play the Cruel Witness and be mana efficient. I swing with the 5/5. And I think I ended up playing the Thief, trying to get a little bit more card advantage. I figure I have some damage that I can do. Or sorry, I can take some damage in trying to race him with the terror. So God's willing. To protect it. And surveils 1. So he probably should have did that before blocks to get 2 damage into thing. While if he does it, I think he was confused. I was doing a double block. So if he would have did it preemptively, then nothing of my creatures could have blocked it. So I swing both of these. He just trades a goblin token. I draw a card. So we have. So here I'm just tapping out Sky Spawner, make a token, flooding the board, and getting some threats up high and as he's trading away. Plays the Stormfront Pegasus. Okay, which we have the perfect blocker for. And now we have Exclude. So with this here, if he wants to trade 2 cards for Tolarian Terror, I'm offering him the trade, which he does. We just have a much better board now. And I can play the Fairy Seer and Scry 2. And both of these cards absolutely want. So just taking a look at what I can get back with Ardent Elementalist. Can get back Lauren Reveals, Mana Leak, Galvanic Discharge, Hard Evidence, anything that seems to do, or I can Quick Study and bring back Quick Study. So, or I can bring back Exclude. So right now in a pretty good commanding position at 14 life, have Exclude up for anything that he has, and have 6 damage on Flyer. So, and we win game 3. So this is game two against Jay Sherman. We are having a fun time rolling the same number of dice. But game two of the Pauper Cube, Jay Sherman's one of the main people of who makes a lot of the decisions with the cube. A big promoter within the Discord. So overall, and also a really good player. Um, we've played against each other multiple times, so uh, he knows some of the decks that I like to build, and uh, I know some of the decks that he likes to build. So overall, the starting 5-7 didn't quite like. Not my favorite type of hand. So here, um, decided to mold again to 6. Like this hand, got all my colors in place, got a few threats, got a counter spell, some nice interaction. Ended up going with the Tempest Angler. Both of them were a threat in terms of um, I could play turn 3. I like the Terror better. I know it could be played later, but it's guaranteed to be a 5/5, and that ward just makes a huge difference. He starts off with Ginger Brute, take 1. I have Condescend for 1 if I need to for a Force Spike. And I think he just waits here, might be thinking what his next play is. But otherwise, turn 3, I'm probably just going to slam Jason Thief. Or I could Condescend and hold up Quick Study. So, one of the two. Spins for 1, go to 18. Go Mountain, Hobble Fiend. Just going to counter it. Scry 2. Um, we are going to eventually need a 4th land, but I think I wanted to try to get more interaction. Um, I'm sure we'll find a land at some point. So just land the Jasad Thief, especially with Quick Study. I believe he ends up just killing it right away. We could have waited. If we took a land, we could have waited and maybe just played Quick Study that turn and then tried to have an interaction. He plays the Thieving Grub. Okay. We get our land. We are going to just Flame Slash it. Get off the board. Hold up Counter Magic. And we have two cards in, I believe, the graveyard that are spells. Quick Study will be our third one. So, take another one from Ginger Brute. Play Scrapwork Mutt. Draws a card. Gets another. Discards a mound. Finds another mound. I play Quick Study. 2. And Eldrazi Sky Spawner looks great on this board. Same thing with Fairy Seer. Just going to flood the board with flyers and 1/1s. So, end up playing Consider. I accidentally shuffled my library on accident, which I kind of didn't want in terms of land. So, just take a land. Scry 2 here. And we want to bottom both of those. And I'm going to play the Sky Spawner. So, kind of flooding the board with 1/1s. The Cyan Token, Ginger Brute, and Scrapwork Muck. He doesn't really have any uh, good attacks. He's down to 2 cards. We got Terror in hand, and that we can play for, I believe, 3 next turn. So, still waiting for Jay to figure out what his next moves are. Looks like as of right now, just mono red, and that was some of the information that I got before the match. Was that did get Taxian probe, lost 2 life. Um, um, I got some information that he was mono red and primarily aggro creatures. I think I got some info that he splashed black in possibly the second games 2 or 3. Um, yeah. So and the black I believe was for the lightning that I played. I'm not sure if any what other black cards he has. So this one just heck with Ginger Brew. Or sorry, giving it unblockable and trades scrapwork mutt. Um, I'll gladly get rid of the token. I'm okay with him attacking and doing it that way. So we do get Sky Spawner. So swing for 3 there, and we're just going to go on more of the aggro here. So it's going to play a Terror in the turn. He plays the Seize the Opportunity, which it doesn't show on here, but it can either be +2/+1, I believe, to 2 creatures. So, or it can be exile 2 cards and do it to the end of the turn. And he does a Brimstone Volley, which is face up, which um, I know not to have something to die. So he can't sacrifice Gingerbrute and pay for Brimstone Volley for Tolarian Terror because of the Ward 2. Um, so otherwise, what he could have did is just attack with Gingerbrute, offer the trade, and um, then Brimstone Volley 5 to do that. Other option that he can do is he can sacrifice Gingerbrute, gain 3 life, and Brimstone Volley for 5 to face. Otherwise, he can keep the Gingerbrute on the field, do 3 damage to face, and keep attacking. So, with Gingerbrute. So, I think he was in the tank trying to figure out what he wanted to do. He ended up playing Scrapwork Mutt. It does discard a card. Um, the Scrapwork Mutt get exiled, so I do the Gingerbrute, kind of force his hand. He will do 5 with the Brimstone, and I'll take 7, but he will have nothing on board after that. Okay, so we're at 8 life. Sacrifice that, get a mountain. Pass the turn. So my thought here is I wanted to try to get Condescend. I could go for Quick Study to try to get some other thing, but even though Condescend is up thing, there's not too many cards I can start to lose to. So um, play Ardent Elementalist, get back a counter spell. Worst case scenario, because he's got to be able to do 8 damage to me. And next turn, I'll have a big Condescend up, possibly. So, plays Clockwork Percussionist. Didn't obviously counter that. It is a good blocker. Player Husk. And he's got enough to try to dig. So I ended up just taking the one. Didn't want him to draw a card, and I wasn't going to give up Elementalist just for that. The only thing I can really lose to is a burn spell and uh, Fire Blast is the main cards that can kill me. Otherwise, if I took another 1 damage, it would be 2, 3 mana, 3 damage burn spells. So goes Incinerate to face. And now I have Miscalc and Condescend, so just decide to swing all out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have exactly. So I think the only thing I lose to would be Bolt here. I think he jokingly got rid of two lands for Fire Blast. So looking back, maybe that wasn't the best attacks. Maybe I probably should have just kept Ardent Elementalist back as one blocker. Trying to think, but we got lucky. He didn't top deck anything. Game 2, I don't think. I think I might have did the same. Same thing in terms of getting rid of Mistral Singer and put in Volatile Wanderglyph. I think I just move in one mountain. I don't think I have anything else really to change. So, I also took Cruel Witness out, and what else did I put in? I put the Mistral Singer versus Cruel Witness. So, I just kept my curve low. So, okay. Trying to think. I think we were just talking. So we are in game 2 against Game Sherman. One game. We have a hand that needs Mountain to make it perfect. Exactly a card that we're hand that we're looking for. Um, Obviously, we're hoping for land off the top, so we don't have to dig in quite as much. He does a Gataxian Probe, sees everything that I have. We draw that. Honestly, I play Fear here, hoping that I could spike a land, just draw it naturally. Do not hit a land in any of the top 2. And draw, did not hit a land. So we lower reveal. Unfortunately, what I have to do is I have to reshuffle all those cards back to it, back into the hand. So less than likely to find land number 3 and yet again the mountain that we need. So taking few damage. See, there's that mana leak again. So there was the mistaken error that I did in terms of reshuffling. So what I should have did, and looking back at this game as a review, was should have cycled Lorien Revealed, guaranteed that second land drop. Um, Seen what I got with my natural draw, and then played the land, Fairy Seer, and then try to dig for that third land there. So that would have been the more optimal play. But because I shuffled, the two cards that I put down at the bottom when I cycled Lorien Veiled got reshuffled in the deck, and sure enough, when I consider the mana leak that I didn't want there was back there because I shuffled. So, um, Jay is playing Mayhem Patrol, possibly around miscalculation. So I forget to let him know. Yep, resolves. We have nothing going on in our hand that is good. We have too many red spells. We spike a mountain off the top, saying there's a chance. But how my plan was doing this was to possibly try to spike Is it Charm, Orcish Hellraiser, hand Slam Murmuring Mystic, I believe, or sorry, Is it Charm would be spell number 4. Then I could, if I spiked, then I could or sorry, I'm speaking too much, but if I could Is it Charm, there'd be 4 spells and thing. Then I could Galvanic Discharge and then Tolarian Terror in the same hand. So I kept up just in case he tried to do a huge big pump spell or something before combat to add damage, but ended up playing Is it Charm. Asked him when Mayhem Patrol appeared, so I actually just wanted to wait. Hopefully he put it on laser and then Is it Charm it, but didn't work out. So tried to do 2 damage. He played the serve opportunity, and I just determined that it was going to be too much damage for me to come back. But I guess I could have maybe just played the Galvanic Discharge and then Tolarian Tear. I might have still had a shot, but I think the misplays maybe concede more for that second game. But more than likely, I'm losing that second game. Game number 3. I have a nice open hand, something that I really enjoy, that has everything that I'm looking for. Fairies here to kind of fix the draw, try to find that third land. I can go into Volatile Glyph, turn 2, and then if I hit the third land, can get into Mistral Singer or Gut Snipe or Lightning Strike if I need to. So those were kind of my options. So I think we were discussing a little bit of the Seize the Opportunity card that got me last game. And yeah, so. So waiting on Jay for his mulligan decision. I think he's in the tank trying to decide if he wants to go from 7 to 6. So we were also talking about the card as well. So he ends up going to a new 6. Okay. So we start off. Fairy Seer. We scry 2. Our third land. Ardent Elementalist, I bottomed. We have nothing in there, and we just want to get to our 4th land. Turn 1, plays Volt Scourge. So turn 2, we just play Mountain, Volatile Wanderglyph, and call it a day. I'm going to make him bolt or kill the Fairy Seer. I'm not going to let him just gain life. I mean, if he's attacking, it's essentially attacking for 2 per turn versus Fairy Seer just doing 1. So there's the black land. So not sure what sideboard cards you might have brought in, or if it was just for the Vault Scourge. But I believe some information beforehand he had Blightning, so that was a card that I could play about. So I even let him know I know Blightning. So just trying to play a little head with Jay. But taps 2, plays Ether Chaser. Nice, good card. Has first strike. And go for does that. So from here, I just decided that my best play is I want to Lightning Strike, get rid of the first strike. I want to try to loot and get this hand a little bit better. Mistral, I think, was one of my worst cards in the deck. And we get Murmuring Mystic, one of our best cards in our deck. So look for land number 4. He is stuck on, it looks like maybe 2 lands. Take 2 from Fireblade Artist. And we get our 3rd island. And from here, I think I just end up slamming Murmuring Mystic. I don't think there's a spell in his deck that can beat it. So I don't discard, just tacking for 2. I like my hand pretty well, so there's nothing that I wanted to discard. So anything that, if he attacks a Fireblade Artist, absolutely not blocking at all, which he does attack. So I just take the 2 damage. That just tells me that he might have a Chain Lightning or a Burn spell or something of that nature. And also, he's got the Brimstone Volley. So I don't think he has a go for the throat or anything like it. The black splash is minimal. So if he wanted a 2-1 Murmuring Mystic and he has Lightning Bolt or Fire Blast and Chain Lightning, find him using all those resources to kill Murmuring Mystic. So, yeah. Scrapwork Mutt. Discard Scholar of Combustion. 3rd there. We'll play the draw. And we'll definitely keep a Mana Leak, and we'll bottom the island. So, again, just going to attack for 2 there. And keep holding them back. He wants to trade it with Scrapwork Mutt. I let him. Honestly, there I probably just let him stay there. So this one, he Scrapwork Mutts. Discards a Mountain. This time I'm not going to let him get the free damage. If he wants to try to Chain Lightning, I have the counter spell for it. So, block. Exile. It's a Chain Lightning. I Izzet Charmant, make a bird. And obviously, Jay's not too happy about that. I think he's played enough games against Murmuring Mystic that he kind of knows what's going on. So we can play Gutter Snipe and keep up Mana Leak. He's down to 11 currently. And we're at 16 with Gutter Snipe, Mystic, and at least a Mana Leak. So looking pretty good in this situation. So can do 2 damage, can make a bird, not a bird, and the Vault is pretty much doing nothing. So just talk about Gutter Snipe. And obviously he was hoping to pull that. I let him know I took it back too. So we both kind of had the same idea. He took Chain Lightning, and I took Flame Slash. And me seeing Flame Slash led me to go into Gutter Snipe. Him seeing Chain Lightning, he was hoping to wheel. So we do draw Tempest Angler for currently. There was a little skip in the video, and I had to readjust the audio for this one. But he did play a Thriving Grubs and a Clockwork Protectionist. We did not mana leak it. The main reason why is we could have mana leaked to create another bird and do that. But the only way I feel like we lose this game is if Murmuring Mystic dies. And he is using a Taxian Probe, so he does get to see mana leak here face up, which obviously he can play around. But he does have Brimstone Volley from our prior match that does 5 damage. So if that was his plan and I countered that, he could sacrifice something with Fireblade Artist and Brimstone Volley, and then I'm just stuck with 2 birds as my main threats. While keeping Murmuring Mystic alive is my biggest concern, or my biggest priority in terms of trying to win the game. When we get down to the kind of these at the end here, and there's some extra time taken by both of us in terms of thinking. Jay's got to be able to think of how to kind of get out of this situation, because I feel like I'm ahead on board with Murmuring Mystic, Gutter Snipe, and having a higher life total. So the way I lose this game is I'm careless with my current resources, and I make a bad attack, or I let him put too much damage onto me. So I'm just joking with him in the chat, saying that he should play a 3 mana spell, so I can counter with Mana Leak, because obviously he knows exactly what my only card in hand is. But that's what usually when you're ahead in the game, you almost part of the game is you want to think is, how do I lose this game? How does Jay come back? How does he beat me? And there's only going to be a few things if you're truly ahead against any opponent. How are they going to beat you? And what is their deck? What is their strategy? And how is that going to happen? So for Jay to come back to beat me is if he probably kills Murmuring Mystic and kills Gutter Snipe. Those are his main threats of mine on board. And or otherwise, instead of killing them, how does he get me from 14 to 0, like any red deck wants to do? And more than likely, it's going to be him trying to wrap off burn spells and doing that. And having a mana leak up will obviously make that a lot harder. So rather than countering a thriving grubs or clockwork percussionist. So the mana leak is trying to stay up for one of those main creatures. So just going to keep swinging one slowly but surely. Drew exclude for turn, so any creature that comes down, going to hard cast and draw. Um, and this is what I mean by that. He is telling me right there with that incinerate that uh, he's going to try to ignore Gutter Snipe and try to ignore Murmuring Mystic and bring me down to 0. Sacrificed with Fireblade Artist to do an extra 2 damage. So, yeah, he's trying to burn me out. Has 2 cards in hand. We rip an absolute bomb here with Flame Slash to get the last blocker, pump up Tempest Angler, and trigger Gutter Snipe. And swinging in for the game here. And has Fire Blast, so that would have been an extra 4 damage here. Just decided to do Mana Leak just to make a bird, and if he wants to Fire Blast, I already have lethal on board, but figured I'd use it then. So, and we got game number 2. So, perfect. 2-0. Going to be waiting to play our third opponent. Alrighty, game 3 versus Henry Clay. Currently, our team draft, we're in the lead of currently, I believe we are 4 and 2, and we are looking forward. We just need one more win to overall get five wins. 5 wins is the necessary. This is our opening hand, and it looks like a great hand. We can play a tap land, and then turn 2 we can hard evidence and consider, or we can, which I think we want to do because we want to get our third land drop, and then we can play Jason Thief, or we can play Mana Leak, or we can play Lightning Strike. So a lot of different options. So draw land, get Flame Slash. So I think I just hard evidence. Almost forget to get the clue, the most important part. I appreciate Henry letting me know about that. I think I would have remembered afterwards, but so consider here. If he counters consider, I'm okay with it. So just one cantrip. We'll eventually find our third land. So so Murmuring Mystic on top. There's no way I can graveyard that. It's too good of a card. So I'm just gonna take my risk of drawing the third land, and we do hit it. So play land. Whole plan is to hold up Mana Leak. I'm fine with him having Cathar Commando. I want to try to Mana Leak a 3-drop, possibly. So we'll take 3. I think I fetch first, get my land. Get my mountain, and then get my clue, get our 4th land, and we hit Island and Lorraine Revealed. So he's not doing anything with this mana currently. 3 mana. I know most of his deck, he's got like lose focus, some cards like that. Just decided to keep the board, make him try to add to the board. So I didn't see us lore and reveal. I just want to keep hitting land drops. So my whole plan here is I'm gonna add a threat, but also keep a mana leak. So my hope is he either I'm okay if he tries to counter it or he kills it. But I want to add to the board. I want him to at least try to do something before I try to drop Murmuring Mystic. He does Cryo Shatter, so nice 1 mana spell there. So draw land. We don't have too much going on here. So my plan is this turn I have either Mana Leak or I have Izzet Charm as a possible counter. We don't have much going on for board, so I'm gonna try to play in Murmuring Mystic and hope for the best. If he had 2 counter spells, I think I might probably lose this game, but fortunate that he didn't. So Murmuring Mystic has hit the board, and just praying that he doesn't have another threat. So drops Syndic and plays Cloud Skin, draws a card. So my plan is to just Flame Slash, leave Syndic of Tides, and then start attacking. Yeah, so that way we can play everything. So I think I was reason for the pause is I was looking up um his list that from the other match, and wanted to see if there's anything that I needed to worry about in terms of killing. So I didn't think he didn't have too many huge threats. So that was my main thing. So unable to scream, can't counter it. So my plan was to just Izzet Charm and do 2 damage and start getting on board with a couple birds. Now we have 2 birds. Because Unable Scream will take off Murmuring Mystic's ability to continue to make birds. Because it loses all abilities. So Archaeomancer, gonna exclude. Real important card to try to not let hit the board. So we got 2 birds, Gutter Snipe, Electromancer. Anything that any spells off the top gonna help us out. So looking at this, just thinking he is unable to scream and Cryo Shatter. He Faith's Fetters, my Gutter Snipe. It still will trigger because of the ability. And just swinging 4. We're both top decking at this point. He's got 1 card that I haven't seen. Not sure what it is, but we are just top decking from at this point here. We do have a lot of butts on the field. So Merfolk Looter draws. We draw land. We keep swinging. 14. Go down to 12. He draws a card, discards a card, dishes a land, plays Gideon's Lawkeeper, and we got nothing in hand. So now we have Condescend, really liking our shots here. Okay, so he's down to 6. Starbreach Whale. Will condescend. For technically, I forgot Goblin Metromancer, but we're technically doing it for 4. Yep. And we bottom 2 lands. And he plays Suture Priest. And we have 4 in the air. And that's game number 1. So, with sideboarding for game number 2, I made a big changes that I haven't done in any of the other games. Is based off of the matchup, I saw Unable to Scream and Cryo Shatter, 2 enchantments, and in my sideboard I have Core Skyfisher and Silver Drake, 2 cards that can bounce a creature back and essentially make those enchantments useless. So what I ended up doing is I have a University Campus, which is a white blue, and I brought in, I believe, 2 planes, cut 2 mountains. I ended up cutting Tempest Angler, and I ended up cutting Izzet Charm as the 2 things. Now, Mistral Singer and Tempest Angler, you could probably switch those. I think are my 2 worst cards, but I think I wanted to go more attacking in the air. Rather than Tempest Angler have an enchantment put on it or something else. So that was my more rationale and decision with that. So I think that was my complete sideboard. So, and let's see here. I don't think we did much else. Yeah. So Silver Drake is one of the classic old gold cards for white blue that can bounce a blue or white card back to hand. And Core Skyfisher, same thing, but bounce a permanent. Now you can see the price of paying or playing 3 colors is I had a nice good solid 7 hand, but couldn't play it because I was missing the wrong color. So he starts off with an island. We start off with an island. We draw an island. So 4 land hand, and we draw another land. So kind of getting flooded to start off, but he's got Merfolk Looter, Zori's Chancery, and just 1 in for 1. So this turn we decided Serum Visionary, just draw a card, and then scry 2. And we see 2 lands on there. So we're happy to put those 2 on the bottom. So we have 3 lands at the bottom of our deck, which is important if we ever Lorien reveal. We don't want to try to cycle those back. We have enough lands. We want more action here. So plays the 2-1. So decided to play Gutter Snipe and Hard Evidence this turn. Get some bonus from Gutter Snipe. And if it's undealt with, it will probably take a big toll on his damage. Didn't attack with Serum Visionary. Reason why is I don't think he would trade with Preening Champion, but Core Skyfisher could bounce it back. So if I needed to next turn, I could, depending on what he did, I could Core Skyfisher, bring back Serum Visionary, draw a card, and play Pauper-esque things. So with this turn, I see that he's holding up 4. So I'm anticipating a counterspell with this. So I didn't want to play Core Skyfisher. I didn't want to play Mold Drifter into counter magic. So what I was going to do was plan on quick studying, if especially if I needed to try to find a counter spell if he just tried to jam a big card, and was just going to clue token. So so what I wanted to do with this turn is I have quick study, um, and I have a clue token. So he discards weak stone. Um, Looks at plays novice inspector, and let's see here. I take two, attempt to draw three here, or sorry, draw two, and then draw one with the clue token. So then draw another a card. So play a mountain. Um, was tough turn. I didn't want to play Lorien or Mold Drifter and have it get countered. Didn't want to play Core Skyfisher, or probably one of our most important spells, and have it get countered. So I think it was between Eldrazi, Sky Spawner, and Cruel Witness. What I ended up doing was doing Cruel Witness. I know he's got to lose focus, but if he lose focus with Replicate, then what my plan was going to do is I was going to play Core Skyfisher and bring back Gutter Snipe. So I don't end up keeping Galvanic Discharge up because I was thinking maybe he counters it. I thought this was a big enough. When I don't want to say I was trying to bait out a counter spell, but I thought I knew he had something in terms of interaction for counter spells, and I wanted it to get out with Cruel Witness, so that way it would open up for Mold Drifter. My whole plan for this game, as it was going slow, was to try to get uh, Mold Drifter in, to get that card advantage. I didn't want to play Core Skyfisher again. Same thing into if he drew into lose focus. So just plays here. We draw a land, which is perfect. We're just going to keep hitting our land drops, and we have a really stacked 5-card hand. So, um, so I think I end up attacking first. I think I just end up he blocks with the 1/1 and 2/2. I was thinking about Galvanic Discharge, but I didn't want to fire it off and then him play something else and doing it. So I probably shouldn't have gave up Cruel Witness, and that was probably a bad play on my part. Um, so I probably should have kept that and try to get as much value in terms of um, any play card that I play. So he keeps Merfolk looting, and he keeps up 4 mana at all times. So I'm not sure what he was playing or what he was going with. He ends up cryo shattering it. Okay. And still keeping up a lot of mana, 3 cards in hand. So um yeah, not sure what he had. So just playing it really slow with this hand. Obviously he's getting a lot of value out of his Merfolk looter and fixing his hand, and so I know he's got three spells in hand. So play Goblin Electromancer. He lets it resolve, and I just passed the turn. I didn't want to play into those counter spells, so he plays a Cloud Skins Seer. We let it go. Plays a Plains. I think I just discharged the Seer just to remove it, keep the board clear from the sky. Here, I just played Jason Thief to same thing, try to bait a counter spell, try to get something. He plays Guardian of the Guild pack. And he's keeping blue, blue, white up. So, same thing, not sure what he's got. This. So here, I have the Eldrazi token. I'm just slamming Lauren Reveal for 4. If he counters it, tries to counter for 4, we have the Scion token to help pay for it. So, draw 3. We draw Flame Slash, Land, and Tolarian Terror. So, 2-4 there. Nothing else I want to really play. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in hand. So I'm thinking in terms of what I wanted to play. If I wanted to play Core Skyfisher. So play it. And somehow it resolves. I was not expecting it to resolve. So um so he spends 4. I think he plays the crab here. I'm trying to think. I think he plays the big crab for Face Fetter. There it is. So same thing, another enchantment that he has that Silver Drake can now bring Core Skyfisher back. So played Gutter Snipe here. Played Flame Slash, killed Merfolk Looter. Get your Scion Thief up. And then decided to attack. Got chump blocked. I'm just seeing how much it would cost. We had 5 spells in hand. So I'm just trying to decide if I want to bring out Tolarian Terror. I think I did Fairy Seer to try to bait him into something. And we see Murmuring Mystic and Ardent Elementalist. So 2 of our big top cards here. So at this point now, I think in my head, I'm just going to slam Terror. If he counters it, it gets countered because I know I have Art Elementalist and I have Murmuring Mystic on top. So I believe I play that next. And yeah. So we're getting really wide with our board. We keep adding a ton of more stuff. And he just taps out for the Mirror Shell Crab. So that must have been some of the interaction that he was holding on to the whole game. and we're slowly dwindling. We can eventually block with our sand token and spawn. Um, Trying to think of what lands to tap. Play Mole Drifter, draw 2 cards, and then play the Silver Drake. And we are getting up high in and starting an attack over the Mirror Shell Crab. And same thing, we have a beautiful board here with Murmuring Mystic, Lightning Strike. Play Serrated Arrows. And I don't believe he attacks or does anything here. So now looking at our hand, Lightning Strike could go face, and we could do Ardent Elementalist and bring it back to its face. So he brings back Preordain. And I know he's got Ghostly Flicker in his deck, so I did not want him to untap and have Ghostly Flicker up, so I just Lightning Striked it immediately to try to stop the loop. I remembered that Goblin Electromancer reduces the cost, so made a bird, and then he's going to attack with those and try to keep up Exclude. So, I mean, we're in a pretty dominant position. We are flying over the top. We have Murmuring Mystic and Gutter Snipe. We have Exclude, Core Skyfisher, Ardent Elementalist in hand. Elementalist can bring back Lightning Strike. We could go all 3 to face, 2 with Gutter Snipe, and then we could Core Skyfisher back up, and vice versa, vice versa. So, I don't know what else he had in hand, but and conceded, and we got the concede and the 3-0 for this league. So overall, fun league. With it, we had um, we had the Izzet deck. We did splash Jessica for the final thing. Overall, I thought the deck was all right. I thought this deck was pretty good. What it had going for it was Murmuring Mystic and Gutter Snipe. I built the deck primarily around it, so of course those cards are gonna they're gonna be show off their strengths. Um, can't go wrong with the counter spells with Exclude, Mana Leak, Miscalc, and Condescend. Those were pretty some of our most powerful cards. The Flame Slash, the Lightning Strike, and Galvanic Discharge killed some of their early threats and to keep the board clean. Lauren Revealed was phenomenal. It completely won us that game in game one. Game one. Mulligan to 5 and kept the board clean early on, staved off the early threats, slammed Lauren Revealed, and got right back into card advantage to kind of take over it. So Ardent Elementalist was good in this deck.